Make sure we get the very end of business, just so you can do the
All right, let's get started. We've got a busy night. I call this meeting to order at 8:15 p.m. Do I hear a motion to move roll call?
President Messick.
Here.
Vice President Canal. Treasurer Miller.
Here.
Director of Campus Programming Glenn. Here. Secretary Smith. Here. Director of Publicity Jones.
Here.
Club Coordinator Chang. Here. Student Rep to Alumni Basic. I Ward. Here. Student Trustee Hubler.
Here.
Staff Rep Leventer. Staff Rep Thacker. Senator Swartz. Senator Wilson.
Here.
Senator Belgoin.
Here.
Senator Walsh.
Here.
Senator Pence. Senator Benner. Here. Senator Nortman. Here. Senator McHenry. Here. Senator Perillo.
Here.
Senator Shorter.
Here.
Senator Johnson.
Here.
Senator Lewis. Here. Senator Utz. Here. Senator Walker.
Here.
Senator Malaga.
Here.
Senator Henry.
Here.
Senator Bernstein.
Here.
Senator Sapir Santos.
Here.
Senator Artigo Valencia.
Here.
Senator Berry. Senator Mouton. President Hernandez.
Here.
President March. President Cooper.
Here.
President Lanham.
Here.
Do you want to amend the agenda?
Yeah, motion to the agenda. Add participants.
He should announce the amendment before we
Oh,
start.
Right. Motion to the agenda, add presidential proclamation 1903S to the agenda. 1903 is what's up.
Well, I mean, there was.
301. I haven't made any others.
There was, okay, I didn't know if the bill or not.
1901S.
Municipal proclamation.
Second.
Whatever. We're gonna roll with it, it's fine.
You're close.
I'm just.
That is all.
And Justin, you shared that with me.
Yeah, it's a election.
Potential legislation. All right. Oh, shit. Do I hear a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion to approve the minutes.
All right, moving on to student speak out. Are there any students here tonight wishing to speak out on any topics or other issues? Cool. Moving on to guest speakers. First, Caitlin Patty. If you want to come on up, you can. If you want to stay there, that's fine. And you sent me some stuff.
Yes.
Give me 1 second. Where did you send it? Did you email it to me?
Yeah.
Give me 1 second, so I'll take a second. Especially since this thing sucks. Whatever. All right, everybody's going to watch me. I just can't get the
Okay, hi everybody. My name is Caitlin Avi. I'm a sustainability fellow.
Hi, I'm Megan. I'm one of the interns.
My office is in Calvert if anybody ever has any questions next to the classroom. And so we are hosting this year the Polar Bear Plunge. And it's Polar Bear Plunge for Paradise because we're raising money to go towards the California Wildfire Relief Fund. So this will go towards aid and also recovery, both environmental and for the people who are affected, things like that. So it's going to a really great charity, and the event itself is free. We'll have like hot chocolate and cookies there, and there'll be emergency services so that we can stay safe and warm eventually. And the way that we're raising money is through selling t-shirts. The t-shirts will be $15. And if you have a club or a sports team or you're part of an academic department and you want your name on a shirt, all you need is $5 to sign up and your name will be on the back of, not $5, five people.
5 members.
5 members to sign up. And we have a sign-up sheet. It's on inside SNCM, or you can email me at sustainability, which is on that flyer. So all you need is 5 people to sign up. They just need to put their name, their email address, and then what club they're part of. So we're hoping that we can have a lot of clubs and sports teams sign up, and that we can raise a lot of money for Paradise and California in general. And the event itself is on March 1st at 3 p.m. at the River Center. So, oh yeah, sign up is due by January 28th, and this is because we have to finalize the t-shirt first, and then we can get it shipped. It'll be here ready for the polar bear plunge in March. So sign up soon. Yeah, thank you.
I'll include a link to the sign-up sheet in the agenda, and so you should all have access to it. All right, moving on. Me, whoops. Okay, so traditionally we do the programs that are funded by SGA reports at the end of the semester, but we got so caught up at the end of last semester that we didn't have a chance to. So I don't know if you all know this or not, but in addition to being SGA president, I'm also the Safe Art manager. So what we traditionally report on is how many students we've driven home, what nights were most popular, how many runs we've completed in any given session, and we track this meticulously. What we also do at these presentations is also what the organizations are doing to improve, what we're doing next steps forward. It's supposed to be sort of a justification for programs funding, or justification for the continuing funding of that program. So, as here are our numbers from this past semester. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see them a little bit better. As you can see, Thursday was the most popular for total number of runs, with 69 total runs throughout the semester. We also track Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, even though we have ceased running on Fridays. You can see it's really not that popular anyway. We run by request, so if a student emails us within 48 hours of the date and says, we would like you to run this Friday or Saturday or Sunday, we can usually arrange something. We need that kind of lead time so we can actually get staff on that schedule. So Thursdays are the most popular, followed by Mondays with 41 runs, Tuesdays with 7, and Fridays with 5, and Wednesdays with 20. It's fine. We had very popular turnouts still on Thursday, with a total of 205 passengers riding on Thursday nights. It's pint night, so it would be the most popular. Monday, next most popular at 146. There's nothing new here. These are traditional numbers. It tends to be Thursday and Monday. We'll swap back and forth. Followed by Wednesday with 86. That's actually a little surprising. When I was supervisor on Wednesday nights, we had like 7. So this is a dramatic increase. Tuesday with 23, Friday with a total of 15. I think those were all in one night. The numbers here are also a little skewed though because that's right. Halloween at the door was a Wednesday. That's why these numbers are yeah, we all know it. So our total number of runs this past semester were 142. That means a run is we have left the campus center where we're stationed and we have arrived at the door and completed a trip back. So we did that 142 times this semester, picking up a total of 470 passengers. Those numbers do repeat. That's not, we picked up 475 different students. I took Safe Ride at least 3 times, so you know, I'm in there 3 times. That's our totals. As far as things we're doing towards progressing forward, traditionally we have 2 sheets of paper we fill out on any given night. We have the Safe Ride van log, which is you take the piece of paper and you write what time you left, what time you picked them up, where you dropped them off, and how many there were. And then it used to be we'd have a paper form where we fill it all out at the end of the night and submit it. We've now moved to electronic nightly log. This isn't big leaps and bounds, it's just requiring us to actually stay on top of it, remember it. But so far, all the supervisors have actually stayed on top of that. Moving forward, we're looking to continue to expand Safe Ride. We suggested possibly starting the airport shuttle, shopping shuttle, not starting it, but taking it over, getting Safe Ride more involved beyond just driving people back from the door. We're also looking at a number of other initiatives that are coming up. And from my role as SGA president, I've also been looking at possibly, it's a very aspirational goal. We're looking at getting a new Safe Ride van at some point because ours is very limited on space. So ideally, we would like to be able to have a 9-passenger van with wheelchair accessible area. Right now, we have a 6-passenger van, which isn't awful, but it does mean if there's 7 people, we have to take 6 and come back to 1. And that doesn't, it's not ideal. It means the number of trips will go up, and we're hoping to take the total number of runs down while keeping the same number of passengers. We'd like to make it a little more efficient. This will be especially helpful if we do expand out to shopping shuttle, airport shuttle, those kinds of things. Evan, do we have any other new initiatives we're trying? Yeah, are there any questions for Safe Ride? Cool. That's mine. Next, we have Georgie Harvesky with the point news. Didn't get an applause.
I'm pretty bored of you, Andrew. All right, so I'm Georgie, I'm the editor-in-chief of Point News this semester, and I'm happy to report that last semester with our budget allocated by the SGA, Point News was able to employ 26 students on campus. We put out 6 editions of the paper in print last semester with 300 paper copies of each edition for a total of 1,800 total paper editions of the newspaper distributed around campus. So readership and papers somewhere around that number. Obviously, we can't know for sure. And then we had 125 new posts to our website last semester, with 4,175 unique website visitors over the course of the semester, and a grand total of 10,000 page views on thepointnews.net. Of course, we're always looking to increase our readership, so hoping to make that a little bit more public in the coming years to work on our social media presence, but that's about all I have to report. So.
Any questions for Georgie?
Can you repeat how many people you employed in this semester?
26 from last semester.
I should also have added that Safe Ride currently plays 16 million. Thank you. Next, Jocelyn with the bike shop.
Hello, this is the first time, I'm assuming most of you have seen me in an SGA setting. I am Jocelyn Heck, I am the manager of the bike shop on campus over in WC attached to the RA office. If any of you have any other questions beyond what I'm saying here and you come up with them later, my email is sahaduch@socm.edu. So today I will tell you, unfortunately I'm not as well put together as the other 2 presenters because this is my first presentation to SGA. I was given little guidance by the previous manager, so I'm a little bit scattered here, but bear with me. We document every bicycle that comes in and who the owner is, if it is going to be left without the owner, as in if the owner is going to leave the presence of the bike for any reason. And we have 40 documented visits, but I'm accounting for the fact that no, we aren't perfect, and we likely, I know last year when I was not the manager, we skipped over quite a few of individuals who come in and have work done while they wait, at which point it's often overlooked to document that. So I'm going to round that up to an even 50 on the visits for the past semester. I employed 3 employees in addition to myself for a total of 4. I previously worked at a for-profit bicycle shop this past summer, so I have significant experience in the relative cost of these services we provide for free. And when I worked there, The average price was approximately $125 for service. That of course can vary from anywhere from as low as 70 up towards 200 and more if it's a very in-depth repair. But on average, from these numbers, my 3 employees work 10 hours per week. I believe I was informed at the beginning of the semester that we were cleared for 12 hours per person. So I believe that we have managed very well to stay within our budget constraints. I do not permit them to work beyond 12 hours. If they wish to work up to 12 hours per week, they are permitted to do so, but that is in overtime should they decide it necessary to perform additional labor. By these calculations regarding average cost to a visitor for the bicycle versus the pay that the campus provides to my employees, I have saved the average visitor $22, but we have a surplus of labor in $1,000 approximately per semester so far, in that services we provide are worth $1,000 in addition, greater than what we are paid for the semester. Going forward, I would like to increase our publicity, make it very well known to everyone on campus where we are, what our hours are. Since Inside SMCM has come out, that's been a little easier to publicize, but I know that not everyone reads that. I know I sure don't. I'm exceptionally pleased with my employees. They're all very hard workers. The shop was an absolute mess when we got there. I was informed that if any form of alcohol or other prohibited substance was found in the shop, then we would be terminated. And I have found none of that since my employee hiring. I'm very grateful for who they are. Again, I would like to continue cleaning up the shop. It's immensely better than it was before. However, there is still work to be done because it was left in such an abhorrent state previously. Going forwards as well, I would like to begin hosting weekend community events, as we have shifted this semester to host weekend hours per popular demand from students. And we will continue to remove the total loss bicycles within the shop with no apparent owner, which have been within the shop for significant periods of time. And I additionally would like to reform our rental system, because I see that it is, frankly, it's not very functional, especially given that we expect people to return the bike in the condition that they rented it. However, if that is damaged, we don't really know, we don't have a plan in place to repair that, because we can't ethically charge the customer for damage that may or may not have been their fault, but we also have to stay within our funding budgets. And so going forward, I'll be talking with Derek and David Kung, my advisor for the bike shop, to work out a better plan to replace the rental system, to increase our publicity and our awareness, or the campus's awareness of our presence, and hopefully get more people to use our services and keep us running.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Justin? Yes. Yes, I forgot to remember, we'll get it.
I have 2 questions. One, you said 50 bikes were repaired this past semester.
Approximately.
Okay. You say 50 bikes, is that 50 distinct individual customers, or does that account for repeats like with Safe?
There are a few repeats. I do not know right offhand, but it is, for the majority, they are unique visits.
Okay.
So I would err on the side of probably 10 of those are repeat visits, but I believe that the vast majority are individual visits, because I trained my employees well to do it right the first time.
And my second question is, what are the most common types of repairs you guys are performing on the bikes?
Yeah, our most common issues are simple issues of student neglect of their own bicycles, where they aren't either aware of how to maintain them properly, or they simply don't care, to be frank. But that includes flat tires, underinflated tires, damage due to collision, such as misaligned brakes and shifters, a variety of loose pieces. This includes as well, from collision damage, what we call a tacoed wheel, which isn't too fun to ride on, if at all, it's even possible sometimes. So for the most part, these are not in-depth repairs, but when they are, we have a large selection of salvaged parts, which we can sift through, and that saves the visitor, customer, if you will, from having to purchase them online. It saves us from having to spend part of our budget on specialty parts which we can't normally stock because there's just so many of them. But so, alignment issues of any kind, flat tires, and general issues relating to not quite neglect, but lack of routine maintenance because we're college students, to be honest. But so like, people leaving their bikes out over breaks and stuff, they get rained on, they might rust in place a bit, they need to bring it over, we have to break it loose, we have to change out something that's rusted too far, re-lubricate, and
Can you tell us what the current bike shop hours are for the weekend?
Yes, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, this is for this semester. From Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, it is from 2 p.m. until 5 p.m. They're closed Tuesdays and Thursdays in favor of moving to weekend hours from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. both Saturday and Sunday.
Any other questions? All right, thank you very much. All right, let's move on to new business. First up, we have the Pokemon Go Club Constitution. Is there anyone here tonight to speak on behalf of Pokemon Go Club? You can stand there if you want, here if you like, whatever you're comfortable with, as long as you're. So can you tell us what your club is about, what your programs are?
Sure. What our club is about, I'm sure you all are popular at Pokemon Go. We have a lot of players on campus. In fact, there are some players that are in this room. I don't want to say we get it every time, but we get together and we kind of walk around campus just playing games. It's a good way to spend time with campus and things of that nature.
Are there any questions?
What would you see from the SGA in terms of funding? Why, essentially, what would be funding if we would do this?
So there are certain worldwide events that, I'd say worldwide, they're held in DC and Baltimore at times, that we would need vans for to transport our members to DC. Things of that nature. We don't really need a lot of funding. I think that would just be our only thing.
And, very second question. We have a video game club on campus already. Have you thought about integrating with them, or do you really think, or you're committed to having a standalone Pokemon Go club?
We feel like it's different enough, and there's enough of a separation between the two. They focus on video games in general, while we focus on one more specifically. And there's a distinction where we would be holding events that would be completely separate from theirs, and there's not that much overlap.
As well as we play video games that you kind of just sit down, but with Pokemon Go, you go walking.
Are there any other questions?
About how many active members do you anticipate having in this club?
So we currently have a Discord for members. We currently have 50 members in the Discord. About how active it kind of fluctuates. I would say there are maybe 20 to 25 members that are active.
My second question is there any other Pokemon related club that is chartered by the SGA? All right, one last question. Who should they contact if they want to join? to prevent our constituents.
Probably me. Do you need my email?
Yes.
AMSALIUNAS@smcm.edu.
Are there any other questions?
I was just curious, do you have an exec board in place that would continue this, once, I'm not sure, are any of you seniors?
No,
No?
I'm a sophomore attachment.
Okay.
So we don't have an exec board in place, not really, we're allowed to vote this year.
Okay.
We do have people that are willing to step up and do this.
Are there any other questions, comments, or concerns?
Can you just repeat, did you say NAS or NAS?
NAS.
NAS.
Any other questions? Do I hear the motion to move to roll call?
Motion to roll call.
Seconded.
Senator Wilson. Oh, no, it's, you're new. Okay, you say aye, nay, or abstain. So yes, no, or you don't know. Senator Belga.
Aye.
Senator Walsh.
Aye.
Senator Pence.
Aye.
Senator Benner.
Aye.
Senator Nortman.
Aye.
Senator McNesby.
Aye.
Senator Perillo.
Aye.
Senator Shorter.
Aye.
Senator Johnson.
Aye.
Senator Lewis.
Aye.
Senator Utz.
Aye.
Senator Walker.
Aye.
Senator Malaga.
Aye.
Senator Henry. Senator Bernstein.
Aye.
Senator Sapiro Santos.
Aye.
Senator Artigas Valencia.
Aye.
President Hernandez.
Aye.
President Cooper. President Lamb.
Aye.
It is the opinion of the chair that the ayes have it. This club constitution passes. I'd also like to say for any guest speakers, please don't feel obligated to stay if you want to, but if you do, that's awesome.
Boogie Bongo Plus, please send me your information so that way I can send you the proper paperwork for becoming. Thank you.
What's your email?
It's clubcoordinator@smcm.edu.
Thank you.
Before we move on, I just want to remind everyone, when we're speaking, we stand to speak now. And you all heard that, I'm sure. I just want to quick reminder, just because it's easy to recognize. The only person who doesn't have to conveniently today is the speaker. The chair is in the chair. So, just a reminder, try to take good practice. You just stand and I will recognize. So if 5 people stand up, I will recognize the first one to stand. Okay, moving on. Presidential Proclamation 1901S. Justin, would you like to speak on this?
Good evening, everyone. I'll be presenting on this presidential proclamation. This is addressing a lot of questions that came up last semester. I don't know if you can pull it up right there. I have it on my phone too. It reads, Memorandum of Understanding regarding the role of the student trustee. Sponsors are Andrew Messick, SGA President, Al Princeton, Panel Senator, Justin Hoover, Student Trustee. Whereas, recently there have been several questions regarding the role of the student trustee. Whereas, clarity of an officer's role enables efficient cooperation. Whereas, there is presently a need for a written formula in the SGA detailing proper cooperation between the student trustee and the SGA that goes beyond the mandate. The student trustee shall fulfill the duties associated with being a student member of the Board of Trustees. That's the entire agreement that is given in the SGA Constitution in this reference. Whereas it is altogether fitting and proper that a resolution of these questions be proclaimed in a memorandum of understanding, as the student trustee derives their power from a different governing body than the SGA and is therefore not subject to the conventional express powers of the SGA with reference in the other spot. It hereby proclaimed that this memorandum of understanding has been found useful, proper, and trustworthy. This is the memorandum as follows. The role of the student trustee is most easily understood from a holistic perspective of student representation, with each era representing a relationship. So you can see the little flow chart down there. It goes students, relationship 1, era 1, to SGA representatives, era 2, to SGA president, era 3, to the relevant administrators. So in relationship 1, the student trustee may advise parties if needed or requested. In relationship 2, the student trustee may advise parties if needed or requested. In relationship 3, the student trustee may advise parties if needed or requested. Additionally, the student trustee reports to the board on the outcome of significant interactions between these parties. In a letter that President Messick and Senator Bernstein are sending to the board of trustees, similar to the letter that we sent to the SGA sent last semester to the board of trustees, they're highlighting how close cooperation between the student trustee and SGA leadership and SGA representatives in general benefits everyone, and it's a good thing. This memorandum is supposed to show you how that works out. There are some further details that this also includes, along with reporting on significant outcomes of interactions in relationship 3, that is between the SGA president and their elected administrators. The student trustee also reports on other policy proposals or changes relevant to the student body, giving an institutional perspective that is informed by the heart of the students. If at any moment the SGA wishes to provide a supplementary report to the board for the purpose of lending its perspective as the governing body elected by students, it enjoys the opportunity to do so. What's going on here is you all, as representatives, elected representatives of the student body, have a slightly different role than the student trustee, who is elected by the board of trustees. And because of that, there are ways that our powers can complement each other. That also means that whenever I give a report to the board, I'm reporting on long-term institutional things, and I'm also reporting on the status of, is the administration actually cooperating with President Messick, or is there disagreements? Are there things that might not be happening as they should? And I can give my support there. If there's something like, let's say, similar to what Senator Bernstein has done, going around and taking over 20 hours of recorded audio interviews with his constituents and organizing them into a list of goals, that is something that is publicized directly to the students. It is a native and direct and expressive given power of SGA representatives to report on that. If you so deem it relevant or germane, you are invited, welcomed, and encouraged to submit that to the board of trustees. If you've ever been to a board of trustees meeting, almost all of the meetings are open, and you can legally attend them and observe and watch in. Also, one of them emphasized to me this Saturday, not the 17th, the 19th, Saturday the 19th, that every student that's come to the board of trustees meeting is welcome to speak, is welcome to say something. They've always been recognized. So that's something the board treasures, the board values students. So, finally, at the end of this process, the student trustee, this is stuff that doesn't necessarily concern the SGA, but just explains how it fits into the whole holistic flow chart. At the end of the process, the student trustee, as a trustee, will vote on policy proposals brought to the board, including proposals that result from relationship 3. Finally, the student trustee reports back to the SGA, the student body, on decisions made by the board. This memorandum, in general, recognizes the value of unitary and proper execution from leadership within a governing body. Though the position of the student trustee is separate from the role of the SGA president, both officers cooperate from the stations to serve respectively as a student-conscious trustee and the top elected representative. Likewise, the student trustee may use the position to advise and cooperate with students and student representatives if needed or requested. The importance of this is on the 19th, I spoke over the phone with one of the chairs of the Student Affairs Committee of the Board of Trustees, and they, as they did last semester, they expressed their interest in having a written thing memorializing this resolution. This is something that over the past couple months, Andrew and President Messick and Senator Bernstein and I have been working on, and we find it fitting and proper that we express it in this. Happy to take any questions. So we're talking, some of us have already spoken a little bit about what resulted here.
Having one privilege, can you scroll down? That is one privilege. One person.
This is all also potential legislation for access. But if you want to do that, if you will, see right here. There's no voting. This is the presidential proclamation. This is your time to be aware of. Are there any questions or concerns? All right. So that's not what moving on. Bill 1901 has funding for club sport and medical supplies.
Yes, so currently we have in our operating budget allocated $1,000 in supplies. So this is given out to club sports, medium and high risk clubs by the club sport trainer, Mary Beth. They give out medical, like kits, and then she also provides care to them. Usually $1,000 is enough for a year, but Mary Beth told me that all of her splints are broken, which are much more expensive than normal medical gear. So it's just an extra $101.80 to cover the remaining costs for the year. Any questions?
Do I hear a motion to move the roll call vote?
Senator Wilson.
Aye.
Senator Belgoin.
Aye.
Senator Walsh.
Aye.
Senator Pence.
Aye.
Senator Benner.
Aye.
Senator Norton.
Aye.
Senator McNusby.
Aye.
Senator Perillo.
Aye.
Senator Shorter.
Aye.
Senator Johnson.
Aye.
Senator Lewis.
Aye.
Senator Utz.
Aye.
Senator Walker.
Aye.
Senator Malaga.
Aye.
Senator Henry.
Aye.
Senator Bernstein.
Aye.
Senator Shapiro Santos.
Aye.
Senator Ortigo Garcia.
Aye.
President Hernandez.
Aye.
President Cooper.
Aye.
President Lanham.
It's the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, this bill passes. Moving on, live music proposal. 1992, I thought that was strong. What was 1992? No, you didn't say that. That was. Moving on. You didn't say that there, so.
Okay.
I'm with her. All right. So speak on this.
Hello everyone, me again. So I drafted this bill, this proposal for Dean Brown concerning allowing us to hold live music events during certain times of the semester, at least once a month, depending on issues with the student body, can either be expanded or retracted. Try to do a rollout period. As you can see, there's a period marked out from 8 to 11. This period is ideally towards the exigence of this, if you will, from bands. However, we anticipated that certain other groups, maybe people doing spoken word poetry or certain clubs, they want to hold some performance prior to musical events. So we added some time to account for that. Now, pursuant to this, though, is a goal that at some point, depending on Dean Brown gives us the okay, will involve me requesting money for a stage and a tent. I think the stage would be good because bands will obviously any place to perform, so that their equipment and all their other things will be safe and off the ground. And I think a stage would be useful for other events, including perhaps we're not calling it tailgating, but we're calling it tailgating. So for tailgating events, for other SGA things, I think it'd be really cool if we could do that and have our own thing. So it would eventually save money in the long run, so you're going to keep on renting. The tent obviously would help just in case of any weather or some sort of issues arise and would keep things safe. That's pretty much the crux of it. This has been shown, last guest does. This has been shown, this proposal, also in the proposed legislation. Okay, and proposed legislation?
It is not yet proposed legislation, but I will.
Okay, so, this proposal is viewable for everyone. I talked to Res Life, via, I'm not myself, but Andrew talked to, Director of Public Safety, and, Derek Young got some feedback, and as of right now, things are looking okay. We're going to be talking to Dean Brown on Wednesday to see if there's any issues with this. And if he gives the okay, we're going to have a trial period and get student bands to perform this semester.
Alec, I'm sorry if I missed this, but did you mention that we'll be talking to you about tomorrow? Wednesday, so tomorrow. Okay.
Yes.
I missed that, I'm sorry. But yes, we will be talking about that with you tomorrow. Consider this a first reading of potential legislation. We'll get feedback from Dean Brown, amend it, and then hopefully next week we can vote on it as a Jason moves to the proposal. Are you telling me to reject here? Thank you. Moving on. Here, oh, I'm sorry.
Wait, am I allowed to, are we talking about it now? Or-
Sure, let's have them limited to this.
I just have like 2 things. So in terms of the stage and the tent, are you expecting that to be set up and taken down every weekend within your time limit, or are you keeping that up permanently?
It would be, so this is once a month, so every weekend, as needed. It would be, yes, it would take down, it would be permanently positioned on the grades for more than a day. So that makes sense, it's not gonna be up there every day.
So are you having them put it up like Friday during work hours and then having them take it down Monday during work hours? Or are you planning on paying maintenance overtime to take it down that Sunday?
I think depending on the size of the stage, it could possibly be business. If it's not something.
I mean, if it's like the stage that we already own,
That's a big one.
then that, or like the platforms, maintenance still puts up the platforms. So that was just my one concern, depending on where you put it on the greens, if it has to stay up the whole weekend. And depending on like what type of tent you're getting, I'm assuming you're probably getting it from Bailey's. You know, like what size you're thinking of?
I was waiting to look into whether he set this proposal,
Okay.
the viability of it, and then after that, I was going to do more research. So I have not got to that phase as of right now.
Gotcha. That was just my first concern would be how long they're realistically going to be set up on the greens and if that impacts anything depending on where you're planning on putting it. And like if there's weather issues or anything like that, and then like the size of it. But I mean, if you don't have that figured out yet, then don't worry about it.
Yeah, so figure out yet, but I can assure you that I'll do everything in my power to make it as minimally invasive as possible, wherever that may be.
I just wanted to point out the fact that if you have live bands and new camps, you're gonna have to run wires. So these tents and stages would have to be close to residential buildings. So just take that into consideration before you talk to Dean Brown, because that's something that we might bring up to you, to say these bands would have to be closer to buildings that you didn't want. Or you'll have wires like going across the things. You know what I mean?
I think we're expecting this to be run similarly to graduation and the concert series, where yes, there will be wires, but hopefully there will be, once we get the kinks worked out with how it's running, we'll have people who can man the area.
What will be the decision-making process for deciding which acts would play or perform? Will it be a committee, will it just be the town senators? How do you anticipate that?
As of right now, the way it's currently structured, it would be on the shoulders of people. They'd be more, it wouldn't be so much of a weeding out process, not trying to deny students trying to take the play. As far as time allotments, point of contact for bands and other groups would be the student life committee. We would also be responsible for advertising it. Via email or other things. You can't see it on there because,
I have one more question. So you have the time frame, week students come back from spring break until the last week of classes. But that, just to clarify, that doesn't guarantee there will be a live act every weekend.
no, that actually says, in the top paragraph, it says, goal of this proposal is allow student bands to play once a month when the games are.
Okay, all right. Just
Yeah, so it's not every weekend, it would be once a month. Now, if students demanded, or if there was a demand and acquiescence from the townhouse senators, or not town senators, townhouse residents, to have more performances, being this is a trial period, so, it's conceivable that we could do more. But, we're starting off once a month, try to get a kinks roll, try to figure out how student life will run this, figure out the best method of how the SGA should be in charge of allocating time space. And hopefully next fall, when I'm not here and somebody else can pick this up, we'll have a more streamlined process. But this is the answer.
thank you.
Any further questions? All right, consider this a first reading of the proposal. It will come back again for revisions from Libra. Moving on to town grant for bottom.
Hi guys, alright. So, I'm Kelsey.
I'm Vera.
Jack.
And we are organizing Bottom County for 2019. This year it's gonna be on April 13th, so that's a week before World Carnival. And we're here to request $2,000, $162.15. With that money, we are going to be buying a mural. So basically, we're gonna get plywood that we're gonna allow the student body to paint on and create basically almost like a unity mural together. How many hands have we had?
Last year we had about 8 or 9. I assume the same number they solidified that.
There's been a tax lots, right?
Yeah, so we're gonna have a bunch of bands, bubbles, a lettuce eating competition. It's only 2.5 miles away from campus. It's a 5-minute drive. If you put it on Google Maps, it says it takes 46 minutes, but it only takes 25. Yes, super easy walk. It's already been walked for years. This festival has been happening since the 70s. So it's student run, student organized. We just did a little bit of cash to keep it going this year. There's a lot I can tell you, but my voice is giving out. So if you guys have any questions that immediately need to be answered. Yes.
Is the mural going to be displayed anywhere after it's completed?
We're talking with the art department, but if you have an idea, that'd be great.
Any questions from senators or other?
I'm sorry, I'm a first year, so could you explain like what Bottom County is?
Bottom County is an arts and music festival, so we get anyone that we know wants to be there, reach out, we get vendors from the
You guys are
local
there.
area, community, local students sell, you bring whatever you want, like if you have extra clothes, you get a table, we're gonna have tabling next Friday, and it'll be a table meeting, you just set up a bunch, everyone gets together, everyone has a good time, you just blow bubbles together, eat good food, we got food trucks, we got everything. We're looking to get in the bakery, we got Jamaican food, we got ice cream. I really can't think of what we don't have except animals, but that's for a reason.
Also, a large, pretty substantial chunk of the money they're requesting is for t-shirts.
Yes.
We're gonna have a t-shirt design contest. The flyer will get soon. The winner will get a free t-shirt at $50. And
yeah,
so that's cool. If you were into art.
Yeah, any artists, we're gonna be posting that out soon, but let your friends know, start thinking unity, community, art, happiness, sunshine, keywords, put that in a picture, you might win one. Yeah.
Any further questions?
Is there any student transportation here on campus, like using the shuttle for getting there?
We have looked into partnering with programs for advertising, but we have a couple students who would donate their own time and cars to do it. There's no official shuttle to get there. And it's 5-minute drive, super easy to get there. And if you need a ride, you can contact me. Yeah.
Last year, I remember like on Facebook, like a week before, like we posted like the Google Maps and directions to Chance's Point, and like it's really just like a short trip up through historic and not up through the bush.
Yeah, it's just a ride at the farm that you walk the whole way.
Any other questions? Yes.
How many students historically attend this event?
Oh my God. So like a lot of people. Last year, I think we had around, it's hundreds. I don't know, I was really happy the whole day, like I wasn't counting. I'm gonna say 500 and even more this year because we're doing community outreach. And I've already talked to 4 like adult people who are bringing their whole organizations here. So it's gonna be a lot of fun, and it's gonna be, we have Soul Nectar, who teaches bee lessons and about, permaculture. They're gonna be here. We're looking into this really cool local company that teaches you about oyster farming. So we're trying to get a very diverse, educational, and just all around fun event going this year.
If you don't know, Chancellor's Point is right by the water.
Oh,
So you can go to the beach.
also we
and
have the
swim.
waterfront.
Yeah.
We're gonna have boats, sailboats, kayaks. If you want to do anything, we'll have water too. Yeah. There's just a lot.
Any further questions? No, this will be tabled until next meeting because of the big season.
Please don't forget. I'll be here.
I have to put it on the agenda.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
For those who don't remember or are still going to do anything over $1,500, we table until the following meeting. It gives us time, because it is a large amount, it gives us time to go over it, review it, make sure it's something that we actually do want to approve. And anything under that, we can go to this session. Moving on to SGA Town Grant for
Hello, my name is Zach Sal from the fourth year here at St. Mary's, and I'm here to fill you guys to use the Town Grant to throw a concert on campus. And so, for any of you who were here in the spring of 2016, you might be familiar with the show that happened on the admissions board, hosted by a student by the name of John Morgito. He did a similar process. He filled use the Town Grant, and like. That concert was one of the most enjoyable moments for me on this campus. That was my first year. So Bottom County is phenomenal. We have a lot of other really cool events happening here, but nothing's really like struck me like that concert. So I'm here to follow John's footsteps and hopefully spark that same joy in the rest of my peers and underclassmen. The show will be held on the campus center patio. Friday, March 22nd, running from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. with an inclement weather location at Records. Sergeant Young is organizing W's to supervise the event, and with Derek Young's recommendation, I reached out to Brooks Whitmore to lighting and sound for the show. He is an alum here. He does the lighting and sound for graduation. He's really good for the guy. And he's also worked with the both spaces that I'm considering using for. Combining the cost of the town of W's and Brooks Whitmore, the total amount in the Town Grant that I'm requesting is $3,200 and $3,230. I have other like super details I can go into, but that's just the bare necessities. So if you have any questions.
Again, I love basketball, so I'm just wondering if, like, what are each bands?
Yeah,
They
so-
are local bands?
No, well, two of them are from Pennsylvania, Invalids and Good Game, I'm not familiar, and I'm also bringing in Standards from California.
Cool.
Yeah.
I've never heard of this.
Good killer. I actually have a demo reel I put together sampling some of my songs I was going to play here, but Morgan is going to email it to you guys. Stay close to that.
Other questions?
Now, the campus center patio, you consider moving it to the mission field?
Yeah, so that was the initial spot I wanted to post it at. But Derek and I, along with Tristan Sedlak from Public Safety, both had, they were both nervous about how I would moderate alcohol consumption being so close to the greens, unless I had a tent. And originally the tent was going to be extremely expensive, and I'm trying to keep it as low as possible. So instead of like locking down that position, I'd come here and pay $4,000 appeal. I didn't think that would work, so I moved it to the campus center patio.
I was wondering if you could elaborate on question 3 of the application.
Yeah, I wrote the question wrong.
I think you take out the word how, you'll see it.
Yeah, I was running around, I had like 11 meetings that day, sorry. But yes, how will I ensure, I believe the campus center patio is like the focus of the center campus. around that time, a lot of people will see the stage being set up as they come and go to dinner. And I think that question is also better answered by talking to you guys about like the hype campaign, I guess maybe. I'll be like, if the event goes through, I'll be moderating a closed Facebook event page, where I'll invite every single student I know. Hopefully, we'll invite all the students they know, and the band will be admin on the page as well to post like things they're working on, music, stuff like that.
Any other questions?
I know that you said the date, but I didn't hear it, so.
March 22nd, it's Friday. It's the Friday right after we get back from spring break. 8 p.m. to 11 p.m.
22nd is
During the 6th.
50.
Oh, it's 15 as well. Yes, that is something I knew. And then so this is something that me and Jake talked about as well, because we're a little skeptical about senior and juniors who are above 21 like attendance. And so I can't really speak for that. Since we've had the conversation with Jake, I've only had the opportunity to survey about 40 of my peers, and 30 of them expressed interest in going to this event rather than 50 days. On top of that, I've had the opportunity to talk to around 200 underclassmen, first years and sophomore's. I have all their signatures in a notebook I took. And an overwhelming majority said that they would love to see this event on campus. So there's no question about student turnout, or if that was one of your concerns. That was your question. Sorry for rambling.
I have 2 questions. Is there any way you can give us access to those positions so we can actually see?
It's a notebook. It was like, does this sound cool? Does this not sound cool? And then they check it and they wrote it. I can bring that to the next time I come.
Scan it and email it to me?
Sure, absolutely.
I also have concerns about this closed Facebook event page.
Yeah.
Even though it is a closed event, it's still possible for any one out of 1,600 students to invite anyone off of campus.
Yeah.
So I would ask that there's at least some moderation, or not moderation. There's a moderator for the account, or at least maybe 4 or 5 moderators who can approve, administrators rather, who can.
You mean like there? Or
more so students, because this is a student one thing.
Yeah.
You and 4 or 5 people who will be working on this event with you, who can work with you. You're not a student, you should be in this Facebook page.
Okay, I'm not super familiar with the process, but I know like when someone is invited, there's like a survey you can fill out while you to join. So before you accept, there's like, I know that's the process for Facebook pages. I'm not quite sure if it's in 3 months. I don't know.
It's either events or groups, but Facebook used to do this like at least one semester ago. But you can set the settings to people invited by their group, maybe an event, being within the domain of St. Mary's College of Maryland.
Yeah, because that's what we did for orientation, right?
Yes, yes, you can set it within the domain of SMCM. And I think the way you do that is they just have to be in their classes. So no matter what your people got, but you usually limit it to just SMCM.
So I'll be sure to consult just with what I would say.
Please make sure you limit it, because it would be unfortunate if students or the population outside the student body started attending cause issues.
Surely, yes. I had a 3 conversations with Justice Selleck and Derek about that.
I have a question. Transportation for the people going to California, are they going to pay for that?
Yeah, so.
And are they stay?
Yeah, so I guess that goes into a question about budget. I initially had smaller individual payments for gas reimbursement or hotel and for what they were going to play. I just condensed the paperwork into like one payment for playing, and that's like all of that together. The band from California is actually on tour. They're playing in West Virginia that Monday, that week, so they're like stopping here and there. So in terms of like gas reimbursement, there's really nothing happening there, but like the hotel payment is factored into their payment playing there.
And consider perhaps talking to Carmen, making this part of their thing as opposed to doing it uniquely by yourself. Again, with the campus center, the way I'm thinking about it, it's close to about 5, it's close to students who just want to study. it's not so much an entertainment space as it's the common focal point. I know many students go South Campus, that South Campus on the weekend, on, to do it for, like, library. I think maybe trying to kind of venue for it up north, would be more ideal. And if perhaps more carnival, if these bands could play more carnival, that would probably reduce, costs or something, yeah, or it would reduce administrative issues. Do you have any opinion on that?
So I think there's 2 points in there. The concern about the space and you concern about moving the date. In terms of the date, the bands have reached out to, it's, since the band from California is on a tour, I'm constrained to that date. So if I were to plan with World Carnival, I'd have to reach out to children and people and start the process over. So I'm really comfortable with if we put that together. And then as far as the space goes, I really don't, and then I disagree. I mean, like, if people know about the concert, they're gonna come to the concert. I don't expect people to just wander over and see a concert and then attend. I think people are gonna come because they know it's a concert. I mean, I have other points in the Hype campaign I'm going to be doing outside of this Facebook event to get student awareness up.
We have time for 2 more questions, 3 more. Aaron's first, Morgan's already caught my attention. Sophia, you can squeeze in.
My question is actually very similar to Alex, but I think it's just an addition, like where was it posted in 2006? Was it on the patio?
It was on the admissions field, and so
okay.
I cannot return there because renting the large tent is out of the question.
Okay.
And without the large tent, Derek Young and Tristan said like both have concerns about alcohol moderation, being so close to the drinks.
I just have a quick note about meetings. So that being one of the biggest events for the senior class and historic kind of fundraiser for us, do you feel that you're going to be taking potential money away from the senior class and our festivities later on towards graduation, having this event on the same day? Just because like I try to generally stay away from overlapping events that are of importance, of major importance, like senior fundraising.
So I said I talked to a few of my peers. Which all would be the same response of I either wanted to go to 100 days or to 50 days. Not rarely anyone said they wanted to go to both. When I talked to students, so in terms of taking it away from people, I don't think it'll affect the show in that way, or I don't think it'll affect 50 days in that way, because those people, either they would have not gone 100 days, they would have gone 50 days, or they would have 100 days and then also come to my show.
Sophia, last question.
Yeah, it's a comment. Sorry. Oh, sorry. So about the space on the campus center, there have been many events held and hosted in that space. I'm guessing it's like patio, right, where the steps lead up and it's all the brick, like all of that.
So actually, so you're referring to like the space on the left where the water
Where you
is?
like enter the front, like all of that.
Yeah, the bigger space.
Yeah. So Giving Tuesday, we had a stage there, which I'm guessing is probably gonna be the same stage. There was a bunch of people there at times, maybe 30 to 40 people. I don't know what you're expecting, but they also, I'm pretty sure SGA had a stage on the other side where the pond was, where we had like, I think like bands come through and play. It was like a Friday my freshman year, a long time ago. But there have been several events hosted there, so I don't think it should be too much of a concern, especially because it's a Friday afternoon.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Again, thank you. Again, this is tabled until next meeting because of the Caesar for $20. All right. All right, last piece of new business, student initiatives committee proposal. This is a second reading similar to our live news proposal.
All right. So, okay. Hello, everyone. Last semester, I talked to as many students as possible about their most pressing issues. And time again, access to mental health, emergency contraceptives, and hygiene products top of the list. I feel that addressing these issues needs to be one of our top priorities. As a result, it's my pleasure to introduce the Student Initiatives Committee. I've enlisted numerous interested bodies, including Feminist United Sexual Equality, Sexual Misconduct Advocacy Resource Team, peer health educators, resident assistants, SGA exec board members, my fellow senators, and other individual students. The names are Beatrice Burrows, co-president of FUSE, Caitlin Henry, townhouse senator, Cameron Kelly, Smarty, Davida Fennell, vice president of the SGA, Ellie Bauer, interested student, Kaylee Hell, peer health educator, Leah Begay, interested student, Morgan Smith, SGA secretary, Olivia Luton, senator at large, Rebecca Malaga, townhouse senator, Rosalind Sapiro Santos, Senate leader and premier senator, Sarah Casper Woodhead, RA for the Greens, Tori Chan, club coordinator, Andrew Messick, SGA president, Justin Hoover, student trustee, and myself. Together we developed the following policy platforms. First, installing an emergency contraceptive vending machine, providing free sanitary products and emergency contraceptives to the student body, and expanding access to off-site mental health services, which could include subsidies and other measures. It is my intention to have all of these policies implemented and in service before the end of the year. This shows that the SGA and interested students able to identify issues and implement solutions in real time. I hope that when people see that it is possible for students to accomplish substantive changes on this campus, they will be inspired to do more to benefit the community. I have some members here who will speak to the importance of our work and will dispel some common misconceptions that people may have, and I will add some final remarks after that. Beatrice Bird?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So this first thing was actually Davita's piece, but just to kind of expel a misconception about emergency contraception. It's not our intention for people to use that as their primary form of birth control or anything. In addition, you can get it for a fee right now from the Wellness Center, so students would have access to it either way. This would just be easier for them and free, especially since the Wellness Center is closed on weekends, when students would be way more likely to need it, which is ridiculous. Also, we'll be including menstrual hygiene products, and we'll probably be sending a poll out later to see like what kind of products students are interested in. Because I know right now they're really overpriced at the grind, and there might be some students who have trouble getting on campus, access to that.
So the second misconception we wanted to dispel from the start is that giving people access and better access at that to emergency contraception will make them act in more promiscuous ways and engage in unsafe sexual behavior. We vehemently deny that this will happen because people are going to have sex no matter what. We just want them to be able to do so safely and to access the resources they need should they encounter unprotected sex or be a victim of sexual assault on this campus. So this would also allow people to access Plan B on the weekend when the Wellness Center is not open and able to give them emergency contraception, which is also a time frame that these unprotected sex would be occurring and when a lot more assault would be occurring. So this would just broaden the access to those resources.
So closing remarks. I hope I can expect everyone's support this semester on these measures. Please email any questions, concerns at smcinitiatives@gmail.com. If you have to Google initiatives, do it because I did and it's what we need to try. That was all. Thank you very much, everyone.
We have some time for limited discussion, but we're already running out any questions, comments, like limited to 2 or 4?
Gmail.
I'll include that email address at the bottom of the agenda, so you have access to it. And it's also in the meeting notes. Okay. All right, let's move on. Let's see, officer reports. Hi, all. Tomorrow I have a meeting with Dean Brown. Does anyone have anything you'd like me to address to him? Regarding just general issues, things you want brought up, concerns you've heard,
Kind of question before I start, for like committee stuff, can we bring that up now that you think that we're pertaining to that or no?
like,
Okay,
I mean,
so,
we can decide it once we.
okay, so for the CARE committee, Zach and I were talking about how during the inclement weather situation, some of the paths were very icy. So for students who have physical disabilities and students who are in wheelchairs, that would like be terrible for them to get around. So it's something to be aware. I don't really know what more I would do besides tell you, but
Yeah.
tell you about.
Okay, I will bring it up to him. That was a topic of discussion last week. I brought it up to Derek. I'm not sure if it made it all the way to Dean Brown. I will say that the ice, while it was treacherous, I would like to add also that the ground crew spent 19 straight hours working to keep the snow off the path. So while the ice was really not great for us, it could have been a lot worse for us, and they worked hard to make it as good as it was. And once we brought up those concerns, they immediately went and salted all the guys the following day. So the next morning, they were doing their best. I do want to recognize that they did do that hard work and that they did hear our plight. And I think that the Christians around tomorrow will be able to work on that.
Yeah.
I'll definitely.
Thank you.
Yes.
You know, last week, people brought up the fact that it wasn't until like 7 a.m.
Yeah.
that classes were canceled. I was wondering if there's anything to update that, and if not, that's been brought to you.
I will also bring that up to him. I do have an update regarding that. Right now, the process, as I have need to understand it, is that Director of Public Safety Trust Setlack has a number of measures that she takes to gauge whether or not the school should close or delay. She then forwards that to Paul Husicker, the Vice President of Finance, and something else, there's another something after the NG's title, who then confers with Dr. Jordan as to whether they should close or not. It's ultimately Dr. Jordan's decision. As far as I've been told, there's a lot of balances between do they close the campus, lose money with paying individuals who aren't doing the work, or do they keep the campus open for students' lives? Obviously, one of those is worse than the other, if you ask me, but they may not see it that way. So I will try and address that too tomorrow.
I have a comment. Thanks for that. Yeah. So I'm actually new this semester, and I got the Seahawk alert. I don't know if you signed up for those really early. Like I got mine at like 4 a.m. or something. Because I knew that school was closed.
I got it too, but at that point I couldn't have traveled to St. Mary's because of my student at my house, but I got it too. So.
And there was a tweet that was sent about it at 2 a.m. about it being closed. So I don't know if like Inside SMCM came out late, but I know that there were other forms of communication that came out earlier.
Yeah, I got mine before assignment, but something said it was assignment.
Okay.
I had a comment about Davis.
Yeah, so I just noticed being a WC senator that when they plowed it, there were kind of lines in front of the suites and apartments that like disconnected the small paths that like led off of that. I just think if they like salted the like that line where the like suites would just like the suites that have disabled housing, I just think that might help.
If they put a focus on disabled housing,
Like
housing that's accessible to. I'll try and see if they can put an emphasis on that above all else. Any other things that would like to be asked?
I think last week there was a campus talk that was given, and I heard about it yesterday.
It was actually yesterday. I also heard about it yesterday. That was actually, I'm told, something that was brought up at the campus talk.
There have been very few students, and I feel like they were more, they're
Yeah.
probably not students who requested. So, can you talk a little about?
Yes, we've, talked about his own meetings and making them more timely. He had set the schedule for his meetings already for the whole semester, so that's great. He's also said he'll move any of them on Tuesday evenings. But that's, what happened yesterday was, I think, not his initiative. I think it was mine. And
Yeah, it was, also, does anyone here know anybody who went?
I don't know one except for Derek. Who left to his, yeah, which is not reasonable. People usually leave without the business. Any other questions or comments that you would like to brought to me from Mr.
I brought up last week about a briefing on the cameras and the plans and
Yes.
what deals with them. I'll let that team ground set line, but.
Both. The dean's office is sort of above the public safety department, so I can get more information on that. The best of my ability, best of my knowledge, most of these are supposed to be outdoor cameras anyway, minus the campus center. Actually, all of them are outdoors except for the campus center. And I specifically requested to put one facing down the hallway towards the mailboxes. Because I feel like that's small. Other than that, they're all outdoors, and I think their plan is in the future to begin facing the two buildings, but that's several years down the line, and they're going to be accepting student feedback once they go to the outdoor areas. The outdoor areas, just, as I recall, the director of public safety saying, there's really no expectation of privacy outside because it's a public sphere. So that's why it's not a critical, they weren't looking for feedback like that, but they will once they start facing more, especially to more private areas. Any more things that people would like to bring up? I wrote something, started to write something down. The campus conversation yesterday. At campus. Any other things? Cool. Okay. So I'll have that meeting with him. We're also going, Alec and I are going to also discuss the live music proposal with him and get his feedback, and we'll bring that back up again next week for everyone else's input. I'm going to move it to the potential legislation folder so you all can view it, comment on there if you want, or as in don't edit the document, but comment on the side, kind of thing, or bring your comments to the next meeting. I would also like to note that I've heard the issues going on with certain departments of S&P issues. I'm going to be bringing that up to Dean Brown as well, and possibly Dean Wick, because I've heard it's affected far too many students, and yes, it does.
Can I ask which, is it art?
Specifically anthropology.
Oh.
Specifically, I heard a number of students had their S&Ps canceled after their first semester of research, and suddenly they weren't approved anymore with seniors who suddenly had to do homework.
I've heard that in the political science department too, where people have had to try to add it back into their schedule, and they're getting threatened, they're getting relentless emails from the business office saying, like, if you don't sign up for this class, you can't live on campus, and like getting rid of pavilions, because people aren't there to help them get it back onto their schedule. I don't know if that's so much.
No, I've heard people did a full semester of research and then the department said, we're not going to count this as an S&P for your thing. We'll take 8 extra credits and maybe count it as a capstone.
Yeah, I'm very people making it on the campus, because it's not on the schedule.
Two different issues, but I'm interested.
This is all something that I've heard of in the science department. I was early this week. There's been at least one student who was set to start an SMB, but apparently started with a professor and the professor was here. Like, okay, so great, there's a rush to start her SMB.
So are there any other departments that are having major S&P issues besides political science and anthropology?
Bio department isn't having enough advisors to their students to other departments to do their S&P with. So a lot of bio students end up having to go to the neuro department to finish their S&Ps or to do an S&P after. And S&P is required for the bio major.
And the other thing, I'm gonna change the curriculum to, anyway. Sophia?
I think the issue that Morgan was talking about, that I had with both semesters, was that it just wasn't available on the portal to register for my SMP 4-credit class, meaning that I had 12 credits, but if someone wasn't taking a full 16, they wouldn't be able to live on campus. So it was ILC also had that problem. And we were faced with the $25 ad fee, whatever, because it was after a week, and I was like, I'm not paying that. And I didn't have to, but.
I know in the history department, you have to do a paper ad
Yeah.
recipes, and if there's no one telling you that, it's still.
Right, it wasn't on the portal.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, in regards to the $25 backdrop fee, I know they submitted the deadlines on Monday, however, it was, I don't know, payday, so I don't know if that, I know a lot of students were confused about whether or not, it was made or the registry actually opened on Monday, and now they're actually facing that $25 fee because of that confusion, so, yeah, also, the whole math department, or a lot of the math department was away at a conference, so students weren't able to drop those math classes as of last week. So they're also facing that. I just think
Okay, thank you.
I thought it was primarily due to professors because of the way that political science questions show in school. Some of them would come up to their so it's hard to get them to add the signature markers.
Anything else regarding that subject? Cool. Did everyone get my updates emails that I sent after last week's meeting? That needed to. I'm still working on the camera issue. I'd like to thank Senator Pence for sending me that security, campus security report. We're still talking to Director of Public Safety tries to sound like about the blue light issue because that is a prominent issue. I know there's two incredibly different schools of thought there. One is it would really make students feel more comfortable and safer on campus, and perhaps we should consider adding more. And the polar opposite, which is we shouldn't add more because it actually decrease safety and create a false sense of security. I'm still trying to encourage you to add a couple more, if anything. But that's an ongoing conversation. I'll keep everyone updated as you go. I think that's all I had. Oh, one last thing. These seating arrangements are still likely to change. I have sort of a map that I'm going to try and work with for next time. So, but this is the general setup, and I haven't heard any negative feedback. So we're going to try and move forward and keep it with this, and hope that they'll keep delivering extra chairs as we can. Other than that, Senator Wilson afterwards. That's it. Director of Campus Programming, Glenn.
I have something in the folder today. January, whatever. January 22. So I just put this together so you can actually see the dates and times and don't have to listen to me repeat them at you. But these are the next 3 events that we're having this month. So this Friday, we're doing a murder mystery. So basically like this acting troupe is coming in and everyone in the audience is going to be able to participate and have a role. Costumes are encouraged. It's 1920s themed. But not required. So we're having that this Friday. The following Monday is our first bingo night. And that is typically used to be in here, but now it's going to be in Schaefer 106, the big auditorium in Schaefer. And then that Wednesday is our next late night at the pub event. So yeah, those are our last 3 events of the month. We have more free things to give out if you go to those. If you didn't get anything this past week. That's all.
Does everyone have this, you have access to it in Drive, so I'm gonna move forward. Director of Publicity.
So, exciting stuff. It only took over a semester, but I finally made the SGA Instagram account. It's SMCM If you want to tell everybody to follow it and also follow it yourself, I'll follow you back. So I sent out an email to my committee that now that I finally made it, we're gonna really get on our stuff. So if you haven't responded to my email, respond to it, please, and then just let everybody know to follow the SGA Instagram account.
Treasurer.
So, first thing, unless anyone here is interested in my position, I'm gonna open it up to the entire campus. I'm gonna try to fill the position by this Friday. So please just put your constituent reports that there is a position open on the board. I'm looking at the mostly available 800 underclassmen, so freshman or sophomore, just so there's some continuance on the board. And for my second announcement, I would actually like the motion for a closed session.
For a quick closed session.
Quick closed session.
Can we hear a second? If you two want to stick around, you can just stand outside. I'm gonna go stand by the door, but.
See what back. You just cut the feed for a little bit.
If I cut it, then we're just done.
That's fine.
Okay?